Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw female anatomy. Okay, so I'm going to use a lot of sharpies so you can see what I'm doing. Basically, I'm just going to be going the rough idea of the things I learned or can remember. So, when you're working with the female body, it's like the male body but softer and not as barrely. So I like to do the barrel for the men, but for the females, the way I was taught, it's prettier. So you've got the barrel, obviously, and I always start with the chest. That's where I always go. So there you go. So it is still kind of a barrel, but you also got to remember posture. So the way I was taught was kind of do this. That way you'll know that the shoulders are going to come in and be a little bit in line, a little bit, not wider, narrower than the hips, like this. So when you're drawing, you draw the hips like this, and your shoulders up here. You see what I'm saying? And that's how I was taught, so you can always get a curvier, better form for women. Now, this isn't always the case. I know plenty of people that are the opposite way, or just as wide shoulder-wise as they are hip-wise. You know, I've seen plenty of people like this. So remember, this is not set in stone. This is not how you always have to do things. But that's how I was taught to do it, because not to be sexist and not to say, well, that's how women are, but if you're talking about representation of, you show me how to draw that pen. Well, I'm going to draw it like this. I'm going to draw the top cap, I'm going to draw the end of the cap, and draw the middle to represent what that looks like. Not all pens are like that, because not all of them have that cap, but it's the representation that you put down on the piece of paper to get people to understand what you're drawing. That's basically what it comes down to. So I don't mean to be sexist by saying this is how you do it, and I don't mean to say that everybody looks this way, but that's how I was taught to make it look less like a man and more like a woman. Now, that being said, another thing that helps is posture. I was taught also the same thing, is that when you're drawing a person, the way they're standing helps as well. So I was taught that this helps like that. That helps in the way someone stands, especially a woman, to balance out your weight proportionally and get those womanly details. Okay, so I'm just going to go with straight, basic, forward. This is how it's going to look, because she's got her hand on her hip, you know, and this will get us into a female position. So it kind of helps with the way your weight is distributed and balanced, and really the way it goes to structure, you know. So, you know, all your weight is on this hip right here, and let's see if I can get another Sharpie real fast. All your weight is going to come down. Here's your skeleton, here's your frame, all the weight's down like this, and then this is loose to do whatever you want to do, okay? And so in doing that, when your weight is here, it puts your hip up. Not this much, not this drastically, but that helps in positioning and showing that, well, this is how we're getting her to stand in this position, and the way her position is going to be based on anatomy. So again, that's what I've learned, that when you do it, you want to pivot, that when your weight is on that leg, that hip is higher and the opposite shoulder is higher, and that helps you position yourself. Now, again, that doesn't go if you're standing straight, just no hip, no position, your weight is straight all the way across, your shoulders are straight all the way across. So keep that in mind too whenever you are working on your body. Now, also, I am drawing the comically cartoonish, thin waist character. People are different all over the place. So if you're drawing someone that's an average person, that's actually, you know, a more average sized person that's going to have more weight to them, you're still doing the same thing. You're still going to decide, okay, if my positioning is going to be on this leg, I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to add that shoulder, make it higher a little bit. Going to bring this leg over here. Going to come down this way and thicken them up a little bit, because again, they're a normal person that doesn't have to be super, what do you call it? Thin, you know? You're still going to take that into account into what your person is doing, how they're standing, and that's where you're going to do your weight distribution. Okay? So, now that I do that, I'm going to draw just more detail into the human body like this. Come down here. Oh, we haven't even gotten into breasts. That's a whole different thing too. And so I'm going to add, you know, some more weight here. And that's just how it is, you know. So even with a thicker frame, you're still having to remember weight distribution, okay? Draw the hands like this real fast. So it still depends on how you're going to place them, as far as where you want to draw, what you want to draw first to get that weight distribution down. Okay? So another thing that I learned in drawing too is where you're drawing the breasts. So I hope you're adult about this, that we're going to talk, everybody has anatomy and women have breasts. So we're going to talk about that real fast. And you need to concentrate on real people, not comic book drawings. I'm going to say it right now. Comic book artists tend to draw breasts larger and more weight defying than they actually are. So really, you need to concentrate on what's real, okay? So if this is the barrel of her stomach, or her chest, sorry, and this is her spine, these are her hips coming down like this, and this is where her neck is. There's the head. So that's a little bit big for a head, right? So basically what I was taught too is it comes to a point like that. You want to remember that this is where your nipples are going to be, and where the weight distribution is going to be out like this, not floating in the center like right around here. That's ridiculous. So worry about real anatomy, and then you can worry about where the breasts are placed. But a lot of times when you're drawing like this, and you start to actually draw the detail in the face and the clothes and stuff like that, you're not going to see them. You're not going to be like, okay, now I'm going to draw round circles for the breasts. No, you're going to be drawing cloth and material and stuff over it like that. That's really what you're going to be drawing. So I wouldn't worry too much about drawing breasts as much as I would a shoulder. You know what I mean? When you draw this shoulder, you're not drawing perfectly in there like that to get all the lines and create. No, you're drawing the lump where the arm is, and then you're drawing the shirt. You know what I mean? So just concentrate on the overall image, not one specific thing, unless you're drawing that one specific thing and that's it. You know what I mean? So that being said, let's see if we could draw something real quick. So let's pick a pose. How about we do like how about just standing? Let's do a standing pose. And so we're going to draw the barrel of the chest like that. And again, see, I like to just sketch and see where we're going. And I'm going to draw our head like this. So that's kind of guiding me is what I'm going to do now. So see, we're going to draw kind of a hip like this. So know where those are. Going to come in here and draw a leg. Draw one like this. Let's put this one back a little bit, a little bit more defiant stance like this. Okay, so see, it's starting to come together of where we're going with this. So that means I kind of have her tilted back a little bit. So let's do something like this, just to get us in a standing pose. All right, so see, in doing that, I just threw a bunch of lines down, and so now we kind of got an idea of where we're going with this. So her breasts are going to be right here. There's going to be her waist. There's going to be her thigh. And that's going to be her crotch. The back of her leg goes back here, so it's coming in like this. And that is the basic anatomy of her just standing there. That's it. Okay? So, that being said, I'm going to give her a shoulder. I'm going to define just a few things. That's where their hands are going to be. Same thing here. Like that. And so see, with the few quick sketches, we are defining the look and the design of where everything should be positioned for the drawing. So that being said, that's our rough sketch. That's our pencil sketch. And so if you want to go back with the hard edge now you can start to give her some cloth, give her some clothes, you know. So I'm going to draw give her a hairline like this. We'll just do something like that for the face. We'll just do a quick hairline like this. Let's give her a collar. And, ooh, you know what? Let's do like a Fantastic Four, like Sue Richards, you know? So I can now start to define those shoulders. And I wish, if I would have known that, I would have like drawn it a lot lighter here, like she's disappearing. You know what I mean? That would have been pretty fun. So what I was talking about before about, you know, don't worry about the breasts. We'll go ahead and add just a front edge like this and come down. And so her shoulder's going to be here. Her arm is in there. Her back, spine, or the back of her rib cage is going to be right there on that edge. And so her muscles are going to come into there to her breasts. And so here we can just define an edge like that real fast because it's Sue Storm. So, you know, it's a skin tight costume. And we'll come down here like this. And that's our defined edge of her leg. Come in here this way for the knee. And I'm going to draw boots. Okay. All right. So that being said, you know, she has, you know, a onesie in so many words, you know. And now I'm just kind of playing around with anatomy just to define a few things. So, you know, work on your cross technique to, you know, define that the hips are wider than the shoulders. And again, it's not all the time. It could be straight across, but that's going to help you learn positioning, stance, and where things are going to go. And that's just a rough idea. We'll get into more detail later, but I just wanted you to get the rough idea of that's where you want to go when you're drawing the female anatomy. All right? All right, let's get drawing. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.